Bismillah. Macam ni. Oh. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Alhamdulillahirabbil alamin. Nahmaduhu wa nasta'inuhu wa nastaghfiruh wa na'udzu billahi min shururi anfusina wa min sayyiati a'malina. Man yahdihillahu fala mudhillalah wa man yudlilhu fala hadiyalah. Ashhadu an la ilaha illallah wahdahu la syarikalah wa ashhadu anna Muhammadan abduhu wa rasuluh. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ala ali Muhammad kama sallaita ala Ibrahim wa ala ali Ibrahim innaka Hamidum Majid. Allahumma barik ala Muhammad wa ala ali Muhammad kama barakta ala Ibrahim wa ala ali Ibrahim innaka Hamidum Majid. Rabbi syrah li sadri wa yassir li amri wahlul 'uqdatam min lisani yafqahu qawli, amma ba'. In the name of Allah, the most gracious, the most merciful, all praises be to Allah. We praise Him, we ask for His help, we ask for His forgiveness, we seek refuge with Allah from the wickedness of ourselves and from the badness of our deeds. Whoever given by Allah guidance, then nobody can be a misguider for him. Whoever be misguided by Allah, then nobody can be a guider for him. I bear witness that no God worthy to worship except Allah, only Him, no associate for Him. And I bear witness that Muhammad is His messenger, His servant. O Allah, give good praise upon Muhammad and the family of Muhammad. You give good praise upon Abraham and the family of Abraham. O Allah, bless upon Muhammad and the family of Muhammad. You bless upon Abraham and the family of Abraham. Verily, you most worthy of praises and most exalted in glory. Today, inshallah, like last week, I'm substituting our Sheikh for he is actually in journey right now. May Allah protect him wherever he is. And continuing to the art of happiness. And from the topic before, is about grief not over unworthy thing. Don't be sad, repel anxiety. So actually, for the explanation there, we discuss about that. So today is actually just like an add up explanation for whatever past. From don't be sad, don't be sad. So what is actually the way for you to not be sad? He said here, grieve not when others blame and disparage you. Grieve not when others blame and disparage you. From the Quran, in Surah Al-Imran, verse number 111, the Allah said, "Lan yadurruka illa adha." They will not harm you except for annoyance. Means that whatever they do is just to annoy you only. It's actually this saying from Allah to the Prophet when he was actually conveying his message to his people, to the Mecca people. They actually start to talk bad about him, saying things that bad to the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And during that time, we know that the Prophet been protected by his uncle Abu Talib, become like a barricade or barrier from the Quraysh, doing things that is actually harmful to him. So the things that we heard about the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam being poured upon him, the rumen of inner part of the camel when he was prostrating, and everything about that is actually after the death of his uncle, after the death of Abu Talib. So before that, they only say things to him but cannot do anything to the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So Allah said, to the Prophet sallam, la yaduruka illa adha. They will not make harm to you except annoyance. The things that annoy you, but they cannot harm you. And Allah Ta'ala continue after that. وَإِن يُقَاتِلُوكُمْ يُوَلُّوكُمُ الْأَدْبَارَ ثُمَّ لَا يُنصَرُونَ. And if they wage war upon you, they will turn their back, running away, and they will not be victorious. So Allah Ta'ala is actually guaranteeing for the Prophet ﷺ, everything that they do is just to annoy you only, nothing more than that. And the other one, Allah Ta'ala said in Surah 16. Is actually Surah An-Nahl, verse number 127. Allah Ta'ala said in that ayah, وَلَا تَكُ فِي ضَيْكٍ مِمَّا يَمْكُرُونَ وَلَا تَكُ فِي ضَيْكٍ مِمَّا يَمْكُرُونَ. And don't you be not in distress because whatever they plot, because they always be plotting upon you. So you should not be distressed. وَلَا تَحْزَنْ عَلَيْهِمْ وَلَا تَكُ فِي ضَيْكٍ مِمَّا يَمْكُرُونَ. So essentially that is one of the guidance from Allah to His Messenger Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, to actually to ease up whatever pressure that he felt from his enemy. So don't be in distress. And Allah said in Surah Al-48, 33, verse number 48, is Surah Ahzab, verse number 48. Allah said in that ayah, Allah said, wada' adahum wa tawakkal 'ala Allah. Because before that, Allah said, wala tuti'il kafirin munafiqin. Don't you obey, O Muhammad, the non-believers and also the hypocrites. Because they always try to make sure that the Prophet ﷺ will follow their way, or tending to their need, their desire, to ask things that the Prophet ﷺ, to make sure that the Prophet ﷺ in trouble, to not obey them. If you obey them, then they actually doesn't want to be a believer from the start. Whatever they ask from the Prophet is really about just to make sure that the people, the believers and the Prophet become separated with whatever they want. So Allah said, "Wala tuti'il kafirin wal munafiqin." Do not obey the non-believers, and also do not obey the hypocrites. Wada' adahum, and just left out whatever the thing that they do to you. They annoying you, they make something to you. Wada' adahum, and watawakkal 'ala Allah, and you must put your trust in Allah. Put your trust in Allah, because that is the only thing that will save you for whatever they plot or they want to do to you. Allah Ta'ala said in Surah 33, 96, 69. Allah Ta'ala said in that ayah, Ya ayyuhalladhina amanu la takunu kalladhina adaw Musa. Don't you be like the people who hurt Moses, hurt Musa. Fabarra'ahu Allah ma qalu. Then Allah cleared him from whatever they alleged. It's actually things when we read in the explanation of the hadith or of the ayah, the narrator of the Quran bring forth a hadith that the Prophet ﷺ said that the people of Israelites, they actually when they take bath in their time, they all naked in the same place. I don't know, maybe because this is my cousin, this is my uncle, and nobody care about that. So everybody is actually naked. Except Moses, he will run away and not getting to take bath naked with them. And they start to say things about Moses. They say that maybe something is not wrong with his private part. Maybe, and maybe. So Allah SWT want to clear Moses from that what being alleged, being accused by his own people. So Allah Ta'ala make the stone that Moses put his clothes on during his bath to run away. And Moses actually ran after the stone, the big stone, and he said, "Stone, my clothes, stone, my clothes." And the stone stopped in front of his people, and Moses take his clothes and struck the stone with his hand. Abu Hurairah radhiyallahu anhu, the narrator of the hadith, said that the Prophet showed that the print of his palm is actually imprinted on the stone. You know that Moses actually is somebody is actually so strong. During Surah Al-Qasas, that he just smacked a guy and he died. He hit the guy and the guy died. So Moses have a strong strength. So that Allah Ta'ala clean him from whatever they allege upon him. So this many things actually the people of Israelis heard the Prophet Moses, peace be upon him. So Allah Ta'ala actually will clear him for everything that they said. So all of that is basically concerning in the Quran, saying that grief or sadness should not come to you from the blame of others. If others blame and you are not doing that, sure, you will say that I didn't do that, but they saying about me. So I feel hurt. You feel hurt. Actually, the thing is, if you ignore it, that like Allah Ta'ala told the Prophet, all the Prophet, peace be upon them, Allah Ta'ala guide them to not care about what being said to them. Don't ever take care, give attention to whatever being said. Because you know that you don't do it. But yes, people will say, but the saying is just hurting your pride. It's not hurting your body. You know, whatever people say about you will not hurt you on your body. Your pride, yes. Like when we saw some certain things about road rage. Sometimes the beginning only a horn. People give a horn to you, tin, and suddenly you start to, why? What happened? So people start to feel angry. Even though the sound of the horn, it doesn't hurt you at all. Even if they show some sign, hand sign to you that is offensive, but it's actually still not hurting your body, but will hurt your pride, because you think that actually what this guy is doing to me. And you actually chase after him and start to escalate and to fight. Even though, like I said, like being said in the Quran, it's just hurting your feeling. But Allah Ta'ala knows best. We Muslims, like we said about that, about the anxiety that we discussed before. It's actually, the thing will come to you when you have free time. You're thinking too much about things that is so little. That the thing, if you really care, you know, because one of the art of happiness that do not be sad. Whatever happen is predestined by Allah. Allah already put it. It will happen. You cannot run away from that thing. It will happen to you. You like it or not, it will happen to you. It's test from Allah. And the test from Allah, like I said, sometimes come from people. Not from others, from people. That is actually you have a relationship with your neighbors, your brother, your sisters, your uncle, your auntie, your father, your mother, your friend, even actually people that you met at the office. You want to go to the some of your matters in the government office. You met somebody, or in a hospital. All of it is actually something that will test you. It's actually a test from Allah. Like we said before, Allah Ta'ala said in the Quran, وَجَعَلْنَا بَعْضَكُمْ لِبَعْضٍ فِتْنَةً أَتَصْبِرُونَ. We created we created some of you. Surah Al-Furqan, verse number 20. Verse number 20. Allah Ta'ala said, وَجَعَلْنَا, at the end of the ayah, وَجَعَلْنَا بَعْضَكُمْ لِبَعْضٍ فِتْنَةً. And we created, and we made some of you as a test for the others. And the question is, atasbirun, will you be patient? Will you be patient or not? If you have the patience, then you pass the test. And even though, like we said, you didn't get your justice, you know that, don't be grieved that anything happen here, Allah Ta'ala will reward you in the last day. In the last day, you will get it. People talk bad about you. Like we remind about the hadith of the bankrupt person. The Prophet ﷺ asked his companion, Manil muflisu fikum, who is the bankrupt person among you? Then the companion said, Al muflisu fina, the bankrupt person among us, man la malahu wala mata, those who doesn't have any belonging and doesn't have anything, or even a silver coin. Then the Prophet said, Innal muflisa min ummati, verily, indeed, the bankrupt person from among my people, the followers of Muhammad, they are bankrupt people. The Prophet said, Man ya'ti yawmal qiyamati, a person that came in the last day, bi salatin, wa zakatin, wa hajjin, wa sadaqah, means that he came from with every deeds that he have. But at the same time, waqad shatama hadha, but he said bad to this person. Wa daraba hadha, he hit that person. Wa akala mala hadha, he ate that person's belonging. Wa safaka dama hadha, and he spilled the blood of this person. Fa ukhidha min hasanatihi, then we taken from his good deeds and be given to all the person that he oppressed in this life. Even words, like I said, even words, Allah Ta'ala will take it back from you. You will be judged even the words that you said. So, you know, but we don't know what is the value. Maybe 10 salah or 15 fasting to repay that person, because there, in the last day, you don't have ringgit, dollar, yen, rupiah. All the currency there for you to pay each person is your good deeds. If you have. If you have any. Then we pay. But how much is it to hit a person? In this world, you have the law. If you hit a person, you know, you hit a person, it's around 350. The government will fine you 350 ringgit. 350 ringgit. So you can beat anybody, but you have to pay 350 ringgit along with any expenses of the hospital bill if he asks you to pay. So there is certain fine, certain value for things you do. But in the last day, you don't know how much of your prayers, of your fasting, of your hajj, of your sadaqah will be given to each person that you do wrong in this world. You did wrong to them, then Allah Ta'ala will take their rights from you. So this is related to what we're talking right now. Because people say bad to you, blame you, or say bad about you. Like I said, it's not hurting your body. It's hurting your pride. And like I said, if you really think about that Allah Ta'ala will surely make that person will meet you if he's a believer in front of the Qantarah. The Qantarah, the place before you enter the paradise. There's a place called Qantarah. The place where all the believers, after their deeds being counted, everything there, they will be facing each other. If anything they did to their Muslim brothers, their believers brothers, they will meet them there. No, after the Sirat. After the Sirat. Before the paradise. Before the paradise, they call Qantarah. That's why when the Prophet told us about the story, a guy actually want to claim his right upon the other. If he claim the right, the guy will go to the hell. He claimed his right because the guy doesn't have anything more left. He claimed that, then the guy will go to hell. Because your value is whatever is still there with you. The deeds that is still left with you. So the Prophet ﷺ said that the guy who want to claim saw inside the paradise there is a big white castle from silver. He's so amazed with that castle, and he asked, "Oh Allah, whose castle is that?" The author said, "It's a castle for a person who forgive his brother." And he said, "Oh Allah, I forgive him. I forgive him." The author said to him, "Take your hand, your brothers, and enter the paradise with him." So anyway, it's actually really before the paradise. That place, Qantara, is really just next to the paradise before he entered the paradise. So likewise, when anybody do something to you, say bad about you, if you really have the grief, sadness, you feel depressed, anxiety about that, that will make you hurt more. You cannot eat, you cannot smile, because thinking about that thing. You know, a few things that actually you feel before, that just happened just now, and you react after that. You know, your face frowning, your eyes watering. It's actually a normal thing. But to prolong, like I said, to prolong that feeling is wrong. You can have that things during that thing, during that whatever happened during that time, yes. But to prolong, no. Because that will eat you from inside. That's why Allah Ta'ala made the Prophet himself, don't be sad, don't feel distressed. Forever they plot. They will plot more. They are plotting more upon you. But don't be distressed whenever they do. Because you are on the protection of Allah. And we also can get that assurance that if anybody do to us any unjust, if you're not getting that here, the justice, you'll get it in front of Allah. Allah will surely make you meet him. So that assurance, that the belief about that, will surely make you become a happy person. You know, like I do the analogy, you bought a car from a certain company, but the company give you an assurance. Anything happen to your car, it give you a new one. Give you a new one. You don't worry. Anything, a scratch, a new one will come to you. People will open the door and hit the door of your car. Anything of that, the company said, we will give you better. What will happen to you whenever you drive your car? Anything happen? You know, you have that assurance that making you happy. Anything happen, you still smile. Because you said, the company will give me new one. This is assurance not come from a company. This is assurance from Allah, the creator, the sustainer, Lord of the last day. Nobody is actually more powerful than him. So when he promised, he doesn't go back upon his promise. وَلَا يُخْلِفُ اللَّهُ وَعْدَهُ. Allah will not ever turn back from his promise. So that's why when we look into this ayah, that Allah Ta'ala give comfort to the Prophet, even to the companion at his time, about the promise of Allah. Then the thing that we also must take into understanding, because when you want to be happy, you don't want to be sad, and to grieve or have depression because people blaming you. That is one is of the wrong thing. Like we said, people can say anything. I don't know. Allahu alam. These days when we heard about cyberbullying, it's true. Yes, certain people cannot withstand any bullying, even just writing. You know, you don't know the person that write it. When you do something in your social media, TikTok or Instagram or anything, people will comment. The comment that came to you, like I said, is actually you don't know the guy. Maybe it's not the guy. Maybe it's an auntie. Or maybe it's not then a girl. He's an old man portraying to be a girl. You don't know anybody inside there. So why should you care about what they say about you? Because really, like we said, really, actually, it's a true thing that these days, that many youngsters even kill themselves, commit suicide because of cyberbullying. Even though, like I said just now, if you really think about it, the thing is only there. It doesn't touch your body. You go to the kitchen, you can cook, you can eat, and you can just ignore that, watch television, or do anything, or go to the mosque, or do anything else. Any activity that didn't relate, because people are not seeing you 24/7, except when you put something there. When you put something there, then people will react. That react, these days, for the millennial generation, is so hurting, and sometimes making them so happy, even though the things being written there may be just to deceive you, maybe envy, jealousy towards you. So why should you care? Why should you care? Because like I said, the Prophet ﷺ and all the prophets, they endure more than that. Being called as crazy, being said that they want the wealth of the people there, until Allah Ta'ala made every prophet to declare when they are conveying their message, La as'alukum alayhi mala, La as'alukum alayhi ajra. I don't ask you for whatever I convey any wealth, any payment. I don't want. All the prophet is actually declaring that. You can see in Surah Al-Hud, Allah Ta'ala is actually putting that words on the saying of Noah, Hud, Saleh, all the prophets saying the same thing. Because they start, when people, you want to influence people, people start to say, what is this one? This guy really want from me? My wealth? My support? What is it? So the Prophet ﷺ, when all the prophets, when they convey the message, that is one of the things being said to them. But it's been refuted from the start. When they said, La as'alukum alayhi ajra. I don't ask from you any payment. For whatever I teach you, I don't ask you any payment. That is so strong. So they've been called crazy. Wanting the wealth of people. Being called as sahir, magician. And the Prophet being added out, called as poet. He's a poet. He is actually a poet who say poem to people. Being called many things. If really hurting, the Prophet, peace be upon them, cannot be anywhere. Cannot say anything. Like if you look into the story of Noah, for 950 years. 1,000 years except 50. 950 years he conveyed the message. Day and night being called, and everything being called upon him. So if he have that grief when people blame him, and even if you look into the story in Surah Yasin, the people there, Inna tatayyarna bikum. He said, we feel bad omen upon you. Because after you came, drought happened. The weather, our plant doesn't give good crops, doesn't have anything. After you all came. Before that, we are prosperous. We are prosperous. So, Inna tatayyarna bikum. We feel bad omen upon you. Being said to the prophets, all the prophets have been said to them that. But if they, like I said, have the grief that normal people have, to feel sad all the way. Today you said about this guy saying about you. Tomorrow this guy will say about you. This is not nothing will stop. So we don't think anybody can be sane, have a sound mind if being said to them like that from among the prophet. But the problem is Allah Ta'ala have give them the prophet and the messages of Allah. All of them are the best in their mind, the best in their physique. So they can endure more. And beside that, Allah assure to them that nothing will happen to you. Don't care about whatever they plot. Don't care about whatever they say. Don't care. Don't give anything. Don't have a worry about whatever they did to you. So this is the way, like I said, to not feeling that will make you happy. Will make you happy because you have the assurance from Allah. Everything will be. You will get your justice in the last day, and everything being happen to you will cleanse you from your sin. You know, things that like that will lift up your rank in the sight of Allah. So why should you care? But like I said, it's not easy. It's not easy unless you have that assurance saying that nothing will. You like I said, like these days, people saying about you in the social media, don't care about that. I myself, if I do a video lecture after I teach anything, I don't read the comment. I avoid to read the comment. You know, one time I have a debate with someone about the symbol of slipper. They said the slipper of the Prophet they wear. Some people wear that symbol, chapal Nabi. Actually, that thing is not the slipper of the Prophet or not sandal of the Prophet. It's just an imagination written by somebody that listen to a person narrating how is the size and the form and the look of the sandal of the Prophet. You know, the thing said that you have two string from in front, two at the back, wide on the front, narrow on the middle. That is the way. So somebody, you know, do the sketch, and suddenly the sketch being worshipped these days is actually exactly like the cross for the Christian. So we try to explain to people about that. I said, if I sketch, like if the Kaaba is not here anymore, being destroyed, and I am among people who did saw the Kaaba before it destroyed. So I start to write a cubic. You know, I take a pen, take a paper, I do a sketch like that. You know, like that, and I do the Hijr Ismail. This sketch is not the Kaaba. So when the debate with somebody happened about that, I said, if I wrote this, I put it there. Should my friend come to my, oh, this is the Kaaba. MashaAllah, the Kaaba. It's not the Kaaba. It's not the Kaaba. So the debate, actually, the debate happened during the MCO. So everything is online. So the person is online. I'm also online. So the moderator is online. Even my daughter came to the camera, stand right beside me. And, so inside my house, I said to my wife from the start, if you want to see the debate, just say debate. Don't read the comment. Don't read the comment. Seriously. I told her, don't read. She read it. Then after the debate, I feel happy. I don't care anything. She start to, this guy said something about you. This guy said something about you. I said, didn't I say to you, don't look in the comment. Seriously. You look into the comment there, you start to feel angry. Even though, like I said, it doesn't harm you. Whatever they said, even it's circled around the world, even all people saying the same thing, it doesn't harm you on your body. Your food is still in your kitchen. Open your fridge, the fruit is there. Just eat it. You don't have any problem. But the thing is, like I said, the thing that's trigger, like I said to her, don't read. She read all the comment. This guy saying, this Ustaz doesn't know, this Ustaz can. Actually, like I said, from the debate, even the group, that other party group, actually said that he been deceived. Because his argument is refuted by me, he been deceived to come to that debate, to enter that debate. So they don't like it. Even he, after that, make another video to answer. I don't care about his answer. I don't care. I don't look. People said he did react towards the debate. I don't care. Because I know whatever happened, happened. You cannot take back whatever being said there. When I said that, can you see this sketch? Do you want to, kiss it? Oh, so he said, no. It's just a catch. Then the same happened to that symbol. That they said, the Chapal Nabi symbol. It's not nothing. It's nothing related to the Prophet. If you have the thing that the Prophet ﷺ really wear, the sandal is really his. You have the evidence. Yes. I said I will be one of the first to queue up to kiss the sandal. If it really is. But the problem, you don't have any evidence. Because even being said inside the history that the sandal lost during fire happened in Sham some around 600 years ago, around 600 or 800 years ago. So why should you care? Anyway, don't read. So anything you do, don't read. But the problem is we like to be praised. People to say, you are good, you are the best. During that, it's actually like being said, the Prophet himself forbid the companion from praising each other in front of each other. Even been told for you to take a sand and throw to that guy. The guy that praise you in front of others. Because we're afraid to make your heart become swayed into ego. And also riya, showing off. So because of that, like I said, words, yes, hurts. But if you don't care, it doesn't have any harm on you, on your bodily matters. Nothing is actually there. Your wife is there, your daughter is there. People are saying about that. You're happy. Don't read, I said. Don't read. You read, then happen. An Arab poet said, the vast ocean feels no harm when the boy pitches into it a rock. The vast ocean. A boy take a rock and throw into the ocean. What will happen? If you have something inside a bucket, you throw something, yes, you can see the ripple of the water. You can see it. The water will become uncalm. But if a vast ocean, a boy took a stone and throw into it, does it have anything? No, nothing. You don't have anything there. You don't have problem there. So you actually have to become a person as a not to become arrogant. That is actually other thing. To be arrogant, to not correcting your wrong, that is the other thing. But to have a feeling about anybody saying about you, no. If you really see that it's actually wrong from you, then correct it. But if you want to worry why that person doesn't like me, then you have a problem. Because the Prophet ﷺ is being said that Islam is actually the manners of the Muslim is the thing that will attract the non-Muslim to become Muslim. It's actually, alhamdulillah, happened. But at the time of the Prophet, he is the best person among his people. All people is actually praising him because he is actually one of the most honest person. Even they call Al-Amin, the most trustworthy person. But when he start to convey the message of La ilaha illallah, then the problem happened. So it's really not about the person is good or not. It's really about the rejection from the non-believers towards the da'wah, towards the calling. So the same happened. Now we have feeling that in our society, when you start to say not to do this because this is shirk, this is an association, making an association towards Allah with other things. But people doesn't like it. He said that the person want to worship Allah. Let him be. He is really saying La ilaha illallah, but he worship with Allah, pray towards other than Allah. You start to remind them, and they said, why? Why are you talking about them? Let them be. We are worrying because you cannot first thing first, when you say your shahadah, la ilaha illallah, you proclaim that they are nothing can be worshipped except Allah. Other deity, other belief, the saint, even the prophet, you cannot worship them. And among the way of worship is to pray, to ask that person something that only Allah can give you. Only Allah can give you. That is the wrong thing. That's the first. Second one, when you say, wa ashhadu anna Muhammadar Rasulullah, and I proclaim that Muhammad is Messenger of Allah, you will not become near to Allah. Allah will not love you except you go to the way that the Prophet showed you. So when you are doing the way that you want, everybody have their own way. It's my way, not your way. Not going to the way of the Prophet SAW. Then the person is actually in dire situation. Allah Ta'ala will not accept him anything that he do. That's why the Prophet SAW said, Man ahdatha fi amrina hada, whoever make a new things in our method, is the deen, the religion, ma laysa minhu, what is not from it, fahuwa rad, it is rejected. Or the other one, the saying of the Prophet SAW, he said, Man amila ala amala laysa alihi amruna, whoever do a deed that is not from our command, not from our instruction, fahuwa rad, it is rejected. That is why we are talking about that. We don't want to say that all people is actually wrong. No, whoever doesn't follow the way of the Prophet, they are wrong. Okay. In a hadith that has been that has Hasan grading, the Prophet SAW said, do not speak ill to me of my companion. For verily, I would love to leave you with a sound breast. Means that a clear feeling. It's actually when some of the companion, okay, about the companion of Prophet, when you say the companion of Prophet or Sahaba, you have to firstly understand that there are grades or level, ranking between them. Anybody who met the Prophet, become a Muslim, and die as Muslim, can be called as the companion of the Prophet. Even he is young, old, that it doesn't matter. As long as he proclaimed Shahada, met the Prophet, proclaimed the Shahada, and died as a Muslim, then he called as Sahaba. But that is so general. Even the Prophet ﷺ did call Abdullah bin Ubay, the head of the hypocrites in Medina, is known. How did they know that is the head of the hypocrites? Because many verses of the Quran stating about the hypocrites' way or talking or act being said in the Quran is related to this guy. He is the guy that Allah Ta'ala sent an ayah, 2 ayah, 3 ayah about hypocrites. So they know that this guy. When he was actually doing like that, the Prophet ﷺ, his son, met the Prophet. The son of this guy, Abdullah bin Ubay, met the Prophet. And he said, O Messenger of Allah, if you want to kill my father, let me kill him. Because I don't want, if you send somebody to kill him, and I saw the killer of my father, suddenly the revenge feeling inside my heart came, and I killed him, the guy that killed my father. Then I killed a Muslim because a mu'min because of a non-believer. He said like that. So the Prophet answered to him, he don't want la yakulun nas anna Muhammadan qatala sahibah, that Muhammad killed his companion. I don't want people to say that I killed my companion. So the Prophet didn't agree with the proposal given by the son of that guy. La yakulun nas, people doesn't say that Muhammad killed his companion. So it means that the word companion, Sahaba, is actually so general, even encompassing that the guy that is really called as the head of his hypocrite, the Prophet still called him as a companion of him. Okay, but at the same time, Allah SWT making sure that the companion that we Muslim are told to follow are specific. Like in the Surah At-Taubah, verse number 100. Verse number 100, Allah Ta'ala said, وَالسَّابِقُونَ الْأَوَّلُونَ, those who are early on entering, embracing Islam, minal muhajirin wal ansar, from among muhajirin, the one who migrate from Mecca to Medina, wal ansar, then the Medina people. Those people, Allah Ta'ala said, وَالَّذِينَ اتَّبَعُوهُمْ بِإِحْسَانٍ, then whoever follow them in good manner. Allah Ta'ala said, what He'll give? Radiyallahu anhum. Allah already pleased with them. Allah Ta'ala love them, pleased with them. Waradu anhu, and they also will please with Allah. When Allah Ta'ala insert them into the paradise, they will be pleased with whatever Allah Ta'ala give from them from among the reward. And so, from that ayah, we know that Allah Ta'ala is telling us to follow those who are first and early to embrace Islam from among the Muhajirin and Ansar. If you follow them, you get the same reward from Allah. Even though they pass, they are the early, the first that and embrace Islam, helping the Prophet ﷺ. If you follow them, Allah Ta'ala will make you be with them. So really here, you can see that when we Muslim taking the companion to be as our guidance, we surely must know the Sahaba must be the companion from the first and the early that embrace Islam. They are the one that become our lighthouse to know which is the way of doing or practicing the Islam. Practicing Islam is their way. So, because of that, when we say the companion of the Prophet, this hadith, when the Prophet said, La tasubbu ashabi, or don't say bad things about my companion, is actually when the Prophet ﷺ saying this about the early that embrace Islam, somebody complained about them. Somebody complained about them. Then the Prophet ﷺ said, don't speak ill about my companion. I would have to leave you with a sound breath, because I don't want my heart to feel ill about anybody of my companion. What their deeds belong to Allah, but what to have me to see them wrongly is actually not right. That is not to say that the companion will not do something wrong. As a person, as a human, yes, they can be. But the difference is that the early people that embrace Islam, the first that embrace Islam, they actually people that embrace Islam and Islam is weak. And their belief is true. You know, after the war of Badr, after the second year of Hijrah, the war of Badr, the victory in the side of the believers, at that time, people start to embrace Islam because of what they see upcoming. They say, if you be this with this group will be victorious. It's not really about believing Allah and the Prophet. The Prophet also welcomed them. And after that, if you look into the Quran, after the war of Badr, and then you can see that the verse about the hypocrites came into the Quran. In Mecca, nobody is called hypocrites, because at that time their belief is so true. When they embrace Islam, they know that they will be, like we said, speak ill about. People will accuse them of everything. We say that bad about them. They know. To embrace Islam, when you are actually, Islam is weak, means that your iman is really true. The Prophet get that is actually as evidence. Because of that, whenever somebody saying bad about the early Sahaba, then the Prophet will stop them. Happened once, Khalid bin Walid. He become, after he embraced Islam, Khalid bin Walid embraced Islam on the 7th year of Hijrah. 7th year of Hijrah. A year after the agreement of Hudaybiyah. After the truth of Hudaybiyah, the 7th year, Amr bin As, Khalid bin Walid embraced Islam. He answered when people asked Amr bin As, why didn't you embrace Islam early? He said that when in our time, we have our uncle, our father, our grandfather, who we actually, people always follow them. Anything, they ask them. So we actually just follow. But when they died, in the of Badar, most of them died. So we become old people to start to consult us about things that they see about Islam. And we start to think instead. Because before that, they don't think. Because we have people that will make decision for you. You don't think about it. So after the death of all the Umayyah bin Khalaf, Al-As bin Wa'il, Al-Walid bin Mughirah, all the big head of Mushrikeen in Mecca, they died. So we become the elder for our people. They start to ask me questions. And I think about it. I said, it's wrong. So he embraced Islam. So Khalid bin Walid is known as a great war commander. He's very known. So the Prophet ﷺ did send him in a war. And among his soldiers is Abu Bakar. So Khalid bin Walid, he killed people that's already saying La ilaha illallah. We know that from actually the appearance, the person is saying that to save his life. You know, you start war with them, then we come to them, they look at you, they say La ilaha illallah. So he said, maybe this guy just saying that because he afraid of my sword. The appearance like that. But the Prophet ﷺ said, when the person is actually saying that he is a Muslim, you don't ever attack him. But Khalid bin Walid did that. So Abu Bakar doesn't agree with him. So the quarrel happened between Abu Bakar and Khalid bin Walid. And even after arrived in Medina, Khalid bin Walid is still talking about things to Abu Bakar. Then Abu Bakar said to him, La tasubbu ashabi. Don't say bad things about my companion. If I ask you, Khalid bin Walid, isn't he a companion of the Prophet? Yes. He embraced Islam, meeting the Prophet as a Muslim. But because he is just embraced Islam just now, so his understanding is not really strong. So when Abu Bakar scolded him about what he did, he started to fight back, he turned back words to Abu Bakar. Then the Prophet said, La tasubbu ashabi. Don't you say bad thing about my companion. Even though, like I said, both of them are the companion, but the Prophet said like that. Why? Because separation that being said in the Quran, the early people that embrace Islam, they have a special rank. Abu Bakar, La tasubbu ashabi. Because Khalid is saying bad about Abu Bakar. La tasubbu ashabi. And he said, walau anna la tasubbu ashabi, walau anfaqa, if one of you, the Prophet said, spend in the way of Allah, like the big Uhud mountain, fi sabilillah, in the way of Allah, will not equivalent whatever they spend, like this the full hand that they give away, or even half. You spend gold as big as the mount of Uhud, will not equivalent whatever they spend in the way of Allah, because they are the starter, the pioneer. Because of them, Islam become spread. Because they believe in the Prophet when people rejecting him. So that's why this Prophet said, don't you speak ill about my companion. So the things actually related to that, the Prophet stopped them from saying anything. Even it's not about he is actually favoring part of them upon others. It's because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala put the rank for the first that embrace Islam. They have a special situation in Islam that you cannot deny it. Allah is giving that rank to them. Like Allah Ta'ala chose prophets among the human. Allah choose them among other people. So because of that, in the Quran, in Surah At-Tawbah verse number 100, they are one of our way to know the right and the wrong in the religion. That's what Allah said, whoever follow them with good manners. That's why if you say the companion of the Prophet, even Abdullah bin Ubay is called the companion. But as-sabiqun al-awwalun, nobody is equivalent to them. So, okay. Grieve not over being poor. The more the body enjoys, the more the soul become solid. Maksudnya, is the meaning, the more you get from this worldly matter, the more your heart, the more your body will become tainted, not pure anymore. It's not, like we said, it's not about to throw away all the worldly belongings that you have. But the more enjoyment, the more you forget about the last day. The more you forget about the last day. And there is safety in having little. Means that if you have a little, it's not the bad things. Because the world is not everything. The world is not everything. And the world is not everlasting. It's not forever. Because like we said, if you look into it, sometimes people don't know. A few days ago, when they said about the ex president of ABIM died, the first president of Angkatan Belia Islam Malaysia, he died. Seriously, I myself never heard of his name before. Because the figure that you saw in ABIM is the second president, the prime minister today. So you don't know about that guy. So sometimes you do things good for others. And sometimes people doesn't really know about you. It's okay. Don't really feel things. Because these worldly things, whatever you have, is not everlasting. People will forget about you. Little by little, day by day, people will forget about you. So the thing, same as materialistic things that you have. How much ever do you have, how much do you have, will not actually making you become prolonged in this world. And you have a little, is good. Sometimes what, like the Prophet said, maqalla wa kafa. Whatever is little but sufficient. Khairu mimma kathura wa alha is better than what is abundant, but making you to not have a sound mind. Will make you feel dizzy about everything. You know, you want this and that. Maqalla wa kafa. What is little but sufficient. Enough. That is actually the thing. Taking only that which you need from this world is an early comfort that Allah, the Almighty, All Merciful, bestow upon whomsoever He pleased among His slaves. I mean, taking whatever you need, not more than whatever. That is actually early comfort. You have the comfort that Allah is actually giving away to His servant whatever He wants. That the first thing first, your risk, your belonging, whatever you get, is actually a bestow from Allah. The more you get, the more Allah will ask you. Like knowledge, you don't have any knowledge. Then Allah don't ask you about conveying the message to teach others. If you have money, then Allah will ask you about that. What do you do with your money? Yesterday, one of my friends, he asked me about a hadith. The hadith is sahih. It's about what actually different between the people that don't have and the people that have things in this world. The people that is actually having all the blessing from Allah, or the provision Allah give him, Allah will ask them what they want to do, what did they do, what they did with their wealth. Allah will ask them. So my friend asked, but in the end of the hadith, is saying that a person who have things, he have all the means, all the wealth, but have the intention, doesn't want to spend, doesn't want to give. So he said it is like contradicting that Allah Ta'ala only will judge us upon what we did, not upon what we have intention with. Because the intention inside our heart As long as it doesn't happen, then why should that guy be questioned about his intention of not spending, not to spend? Then how it become wrong for him? I said to him, because the differences between the one that doesn't have anything, you don't have anything, but you have the intention, desire to do bad things. You don't have. You don't bad things. Means that, like, if I say that I want to go and steal, but I don't steal, it's okay. But I go steal and then will consider one wrongdoing. Whatever intention inside my heart is not being checked as a wrong. But why does the person that is actually have wealth doesn't want to spend inside his heart, doesn't want to spend, suddenly it's become a tick for a wrong thing? I said because Allah Ta'ala will ask about the belonging that he have. And by not spending, it's actually he's become kedekut. What you say? Stingy. And stinginess is actually considered as a wrong thing for you to have, to do. Means that you don't want to spend. You have, you don't want to spend. The desire inside your heart will be considered as stinginess. Different when the talking about the person want to go to steal. Want to steal, he doesn't do it. Allah Ta'ala will write for him what one good deeds. He didn't do it. He have that desire, doesn't do it, he got one goodness. He do the thing, he got one wrongness, will be written upon him. So the different, he said, why is it different? I said, because the person that have all the belonging, Allah is questioning him, what did you do with your wealth? Like I said, if you don't have wife, then Allah will not ever ask you about the spending, your treatment to your wife, because you don't have any wife. But if you have wife, then the question will come. Like the wealth that you have, all the richness that you have, when you have it, then Allah will question you, what did you do? Even your intention about doing it will be considered in Allah as something. As something, you have that wrong or right. Wrong or right is there. Is different than the person that she just have intention to do wrong thing, because there's no responsibility, because once you have the wealth, it's a responsibility for you to what you will do with that. Yes, the blessing. With the blessing that he gave. You don't have the blessing, then he don't ask you. You have the blessing, then he asks you about the intention that you want to do with the blessing that he gave. That is the difference. Because he said to me, yes, I understand. Because we know that Allah said in the Quran, the last ayah of the Surah Al-Baqarah, Allah said, La yukallifullahu nafsan illa wus'aha. Allah Ta'ala will not ever burden a soul except what the soul can bear. Laha ma kasabat. For the soul, whatever it did. Walaha wa alayha maktasabat, and upon it whatever it did. Means that he didn't do, it's not considered nothing yet. But the hadith is actually related to a person that being given by Allah wealth. Then Allah Ta'ala will ask, what did you do with the wealth that I gave you? And the intention that he doesn't want to give away is considered as a wrong from the start. Because if you don't have anything, you don't want to give, and you don't have anything, nothing will be questioned. When you have that, then Allah Ta'ala will question you. So the differences is there. I told him, Allah, he said, Alhamdulillah, Jazakallah khair, because of the answer. But it's really about that thing. He said here, in Surah 19 verse 40, it's about the whatever you get in this world. 19 is actually the Surah of Maryam, verse number 40. Allah said, Inna nahnu narsul arda man aliha wa ilayna yurja'un. Verily, we will inherit the earth, and whatsoever is there on. Means that everything in the end, everything you have will go back to Allah. You yourself will go back to Allah. Everything you have, your children, your wife, everything go back to Allah. Your wealth, everything go back to Allah. Nothing will be there for everlasting. So if you really think about that, you should not have grief if Allah Ta'ala didn't give you more. Because like being said, in this world, it's just a test. For a person that is poor, it's tested by his poorness. Person who be giving wealth, then by his wealth, he'll be tested by Allah. Okay. Okay, first thing first. Really Allah Subhanahu Wa Ta'ala is actually judging you. Even like being said by the Prophet, when Prophet Sallallahu asked by his companion, he was comparison. He said, Ayu sadaqati a'zam. What is the biggest charity? If you give away charity, what is the biggest value? The Prophet said, a'zamus sadaqah, the biggest value of sadaqah, anta sadaqah, that you give away, you give charity, wa anta sahihun shahih, that when you are actually in good health and you are feeling stingy. Actually, that is the thing. You're feeling stingy. Tarjul ghina wa takhsha al-faqra. Means stingy is you hope to be more richness that you have, and you're afraid to become poor. That is the time that the value is so big. So meaning that they are not the biggest sadaqah when you actually your soul is coming to the end and you start to say, I give this to this and this to this, because the value is not the same. Allah will accept, inshallah. And about the zakah, if the person doesn't have anything or doesn't have doesn't know anything at all, dementia, Alzheimer, then his family can pay for him, actually. Can pay for him. And is actually accepted by Allah. Because anything that considered as debt to Allah can be paid by your family. Your family can pay. Like if a person died, and upon him there are obligated fasting. Obligated fasting. Then the Prophet ﷺ said, Sama anhu waliyuhu, his guardian, his family, can fast for him. Or even pay for him for each day around 600 gram of food. So meaning that whatever when before that, what if your family can pay for you, what is the importance for you to do it right now and now, not after you fell sick and people pay for you. The differences is actually like being said in Surah At-Tin. Allah said, وَلَقَدْ خَلَقْنَا الْإِنسَانَ فِي أَحْسَنِ تَقْوِيمٍ. Verily, indeed, we have created the human to become in the best form. You know, from when you get birth, you were born in this world. You are so weak. You doesn't have any strength. The first thing you do is actually you start to turn your body. Then start to crawl and start to walk. And until you become strong, big. But after that, Allah said, ثُمَّ جَعَلْنَا ثُمَّ رَدَدْنَاهُ أَسْفَلَ سَافِلِينَ. And after that, we will turn them to become the lowest of the lowest. Means that they'll become weakest of the weak. You know, that is the strength. Human, born with strength. But in their lifetime, from the strength become stronger and stronger. And after 40, 50, then they start to deterioration happen. Then no strength anymore. So, in that ayah, Allah said, it means that the human can do good in their life with the strength they have, but they will have the time that they cannot do it anymore. But Allah promised, إِلَّا الَّذِينَ آمَنُوا وَعَمِلُوا الصَّالِحَاتِ, except those people who believe and doing all the good deeds. فَلَهُمْ أَجْرٌ غَيْرُ مَمْنُونَ, they will get reward that will not be stopped. So when the commentators of the Quran comment about this ayah, they brought a hadith. The hadith that the Prophet ﷺ said, a person who always pray in jama'ah, go to the mosque for 5 times, always do like that, he will be given the same reward even though when he is actually going out, traveling, or when he's sick. Means that from the stop when he's sick, even though he cannot go, then Allah Ta'ala will give him all the reward, the continuous reward, the same as he is actually when have strength and can come to the mosque. Means that when you want to do good things, do it now and continuously, don't stop. Because when you like we said, when dementia came, Alzheimer came to you at the old age, if you are not a person that is continuously doing the good things, then your good deeds is stop there. After dementia, you become like a child. No more good things will return for you. No more. Because it must be by choice. Whatever you want to get reward from Allah must be by choice. So if Allah Ta'ala take from you your mind, your sound mind, so anything you do after that will not consider as a be given reward. Except if you are continuously doing that, suddenly Allah Ta'ala take from you your mind. You continuously giving charity, you continuously paying your zakah, continuously go to prayer, then Allah Ta'ala will stop we make sure that the end of your deeds will be continuously being given the reward even though you cannot do it. So that's why the companion prophet, the scholars say about to be istiqamah, to always continuously doing good things, steadily, don't left it out, because you will get the reward even though you cannot do it after that. So like that guy we said about the paying of zakah. So Allah Ta'ala will stop him from the time of his start to have dementia. So all the deeds, whatever before it, can be continuous if he doing things continuously. If not, nothing being done, then that is the ending of his deeds. No more. His family can pay anything for him, but no more good deeds will return for him. Only debt can be settled, but no new things. So because of that, like I said, careful about what you're doing today. Because if you do it continuously, consistently, then Allah Ta'ala will give you all the reward, even though you cannot do it anymore. Allah take away from you your wealth. But you are actually a person that like to give charity. So I'll take it away from you. The reward will still continue to you. Falahum ajrun ghairu mamnun. For them, reward that will not be stopped ever. So it's actually about consistency. That is actually the thing. So that is the difference. Maybe because some people say, what is the difference? Because his family can pay for him. He didn't do it when he was young, have strength. So what is the differences between this guy and the guy that is continuously following the order of Allah? That guy, when he have Alzheimer, or Allah stop him from doing things, after that, he will still get the reward before. Like being said by the Prophet, even though he is traveling and also sick, he will be given the reward as if he came in congregation and coming to the mosque every day, even though he doesn't have the capability anymore. So careful about consistency in doing things. He said here, once one poet said, water, bread, and shade, this form a most worthy bliss. I have denied the favor of my Lord. If I said I had too little, I said I had too little. He said water, bread, and shade. Water, bread, and shade means that your food that you eat, the water that you drank, and the house that you stay in. It is really the form of most worthy bliss, because that is the thing that making you alive. Making you alive, that thing. It's not the gold that you wear, the watch, that the expensive watch that you wear, the car that you have? No. Food, water, and shade. And then he said, I am considered as denying the favor of my Lord if I said that I have too little. You know, you get that, all that thing, even like if you add up strength to get up in the morning to come to the class. That is so blessed by Allah, the blessing from Allah. You know, we can see among our friends, actually Allah Ta'ala took from them their capability to stand up, paralyzed half of their body. You know, when you look at that, because you didn't lost your feet yet, then you don't know the bliss that Allah Ta'ala, the blessing that Allah Ta'ala giving you is so much. So much. You can still see. Some people Allah Ta'ala took from them their eyes. Their eyesight is no more. Even their taste bud, even the desire to eat. That all is actually favor from Allah. So don't ever say that I have too little. Because if you say that, then you actually as if denying all the blessing that Allah Ta'ala giving you. What in this world is truly important, but cold water, warm bread, and plentiful shade. This day, with the heat stroke happening in our society, in our place, in the Philippines, they have 47 last week. The heat in Philippines reached up to 47 degrees Celsius. We actually the heat, the most heat that we have during 98 is actually 42 in Perlis. Can you imagine? At that time they have the sugarcane plant there. This day if you go there, the road to Padang Besar, you can see that. One of the place in the roundabout after the Unimark going to Padang Besar, there's actually one roundabout. It's written there, the hottest spot in Malaysia in 1998, 42 degree Celsius. So you really actually this day drink water a lot. So this is actually one of the blessing from Allah. Blessing from Allah. Really Allah Ta'ala give us blessing. Warm bread and plentiful shade. That is the thing that you should think about before you whining about things that you didn't get. Don't whine about the thing that you didn't get, because the thing that you have is too much. Too much. Okay? Wallahu a'lam. Okay, we'll stop here inshallah. Any question? Can you give the sister microphone? I'll do that. Because my hearing is not really that good. Riding motorcycle, the wind is giving me loud sound, so my hearing is not good.
Assalamualaikum.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullah.
My question is about the grievances that we have caused others. What if we have caused grievances to others and we can't find that person and we don't want to be muflis in the akhirah? So what can we do now?
Okay, griefs that we impose upon others. What should we do if we cannot meet the person to ask forgiveness? The person maybe died a long time ago, or maybe you are bullied your friend when you are in hostel, when you are learning at school. I know somebody actually. He become a preacher, an ustaz. My brother-in-law, my sister-in-law's husband, he said that when he was in the same school with that ustaz was commanding him to wash all his clothes and everything. I said to my brother, to my biras, I said if I met that ustaz, I will sound him. Anyway, things that sometimes we forget, or if it came to our mind, but we don't know how to ask forgiveness. Then the things that the scholars advise us is two things. Ask from Allah to make sure that we be released from that burden. Ask from Allah, because in the end Allah Ta'ala is the one that can forgive anybody. Secondly, do many good deeds. Means that do voluntary prayers, do voluntary sadaqah, do many things, because in the end, if you met that person in the last day, your deeds is the things that will be given to them. So increase your deeds. Recite Al-Quran. Always say the tasbih, takbir and tahmid. May Allah Ta'ala make it abundant. If anybody asks you anything, you have things that to give them. Because that is the way. Because Allah Ta'ala will not just drop off whatever the rights of that person. That person have the rights upon you. So you will not be dropped. So Allah Ta'ala can give you form of forgiveness, many things. But the way I only ask from Allah forgiveness, you cannot meet the person, then do many good deeds. InsyaAllah Ta'ala will make it sufficient. If not, then you cannot know what will happen there. Because in the last day, like we said about the story of a bankrupt person. The bankrupt person is related to that. Because you'll be given. If your deeds finish before you finish to give away, to repay everybody, then their wrongdoing will be put upon you and you will put into the hell. So that is the thing. So make sure that you do many good deeds in this world. We're hoping that Allah Ta'ala will make it, even if it not become to repay those people that we wrongly did in this world, it become lifter for our rank in the paradise. So you don't lose anything. You don't say that, oh, if I know I pass, then why should I do good deeds? No, your good deeds will raise up your rank. If not been given to them as a repayment, as a payment, will make you having a better rank in the sight of Allah. So you not lose anything. Okay?
One question.
Okay. Take the microphone.
Ustaz, what if, she says if you tak jumpa lah, you can't ask for forgiveness. What if it's somebody you are able to somehow get in touch with, but you don't feel right to speak to that person, macam ex-boyfriend ke gitu-gitu. Because in preparation for Hajj, I would like to seek forgiveness for everybody that I have wrong. But there's some people you just rasa macam tak patut. You shouldn't come into contact with certain people. So how do I, and can I macam minta maaf through another person? Is that possible? And
through another person? Not really, actually.
Cannot, yeah?
maybe you can say that, but anyway, I know keep in touch is two things. Either actually, if you feel it wrong to contact them directly or privately, then you can ask them to come with your family to your house to eat, and then take an opportunity to say to them things like that. It's actually that is the thing. The problem is in Malay society. Your ex-husband, your ex-wife is always you have to fight. You don't see them. You don't want to have any relationship. Even though you with them sometimes have children, they start to fight again. So really, it's actually something that must be changed. In the Arab society, they don't have that things. They don't have that grief after you angry with that guy because he actually do something. Because they actually forgive and forget just like that. What you say, forgive me, then you don't. Maybe you just say, I forgiveness for whatever I did when we were knowing each other. Please forgive me, just like that. WhatsApp can. WhatsApp can. Or you make a group. Your husband is there. So it's not a private message. Sometimes we don't want the private message to become, things. Then make a group. You and your best friend with you there and put him there. So it means that whatever you say to him is really the important matter only. Make a group. Make a group. Inshallah, it's okay.
Okay. Ustaz, I just want to ask only two questions. The four questions that will be asked. How do you spend your time when you're young? Where do your rezeki come from? Where you give and what ilmu have you passed on? That questions will be asked to us in kubur or
No.
in padang mahsyar.
Last day. In
Last-
front of Allah.
After mahsyar,
In the judgment. In front of Allah.
not in barzakh.
No, not barzakh.
I see.
Barzakh, the other thing will ask about your deen.
Prayer.
No.
Prayer.
The prayer also there.
Oh, so I ask you about who's our God.
Who's your God? Who's your prophet?
I
What is your
see.
religion? The question of kubur is actually already being spilled out. Everybody knows.
But it's better you can answer.
Yeah.
Based on your iman.
Yeah.
Ustaz,
But
okay,
the things is the deeds will become last day.
the last question is the Surah At-Tahrim when we recite the doa Rabbana atmim lana nurana waghfir lana innaka ala kulli syai'in qadir. The nur in the Surah At-Tahrim is the nur for us to use in our world or nur in mahsyar.
In mahsyar, when you are moving towards
The light.
towards, the light, when you are moving
You.
towards the sirat, and while passing the sirat, because after Allah Ta'ala, like being asked the Prophet, what happened to this world? After Allah changed it, another world, the earth is not the earth, the heaven is not the heaven. The Prophet said people will be in darkness before they go to the sirat, Dunal Jisr. So in that time, moving towards the sirat is darkness, total darkness. If you have the light, then the light will be there. Even Allah Ta'ala said about that story in Surah Al-Hadid. This is related to that ayah that you asked. Naktabis. Surah Al-Hadid, number 13. Number 12, 13, and 14. 15. 12 to 15. Hadith 12 to 15. You can read there the story about the light for you in the last day before going to the sirat. That is the light. Even Allah Ta'ala told us in this surah hadith about the conversation between the hypocrites and the believers. That the believers have their light, the hypocrites following them. Suddenly Allah Ta'ala stopped them from seeing the light of the believers. So that is the other thing, inshallah. Okay.
So, Ustaz, we have been talking, seeking forgiveness among believers. What if we have wronged a non-believer? How shall we seek forgiveness? Or if the non-believer has passed on, how do we do so?
Okay. This question is actually being asked to me in the night class. One of our brothers asked me. So the problem is the judgment that will be given for you is only if you have something to be weighed upon. You have a weight to be weighed, deeds to be weighed. The problem is the non-believers from the start will not be given anything. Everything they get in this world is a payment for everything that they did from the goodness. Nothing will be there for them. Anything there is nothing. Okay, then people say, what is the justice? I said, they denying Allah, and then how they can ask from Allah the payment? They don't want to have any connection with the God that created them and telling them that you will come to me. And suddenly, in the last day, where's my judgment? You don't believe in Him. How can He give you anything? So anything that the unjust things that you did to them, they will get the reward here, in this world. Allah Ta'ala said, in the surah, وَقَدِمْنَا إِلَى مَا عَمِلُوا مِنْ عَمَلٍ. I remember the ayah, but I didn't remember the surah and the Surah Furqan, verse number 23. Verse number 23. Allah said, وَقَدِمْنَا إِلَى مَا عَمِلُوا مِنْ عَمَلٍ. And we approach what on the last day, the day of judgment, what they have done of deeds. It means that everything that they did in this world, we reproach. We give it everything. Carry your food, your drinks. As non-believers, all your food and drink, everything, will become for the reward whatever the good deed that you did. And also the bad things people did to you, then also will be repaid to you in this world. And Allah Ta'ala said, فَجَعَلْنَاهُ هَبَاءً مَنْثُورًا, and made them as dust dispersed. In the last day, they will not get anything. So the question about the first thing first, that's why to believe in Allah, to proclaim the oneness of Allah, and to follow the Prophet, that is one of the first step for you to get the reward of the last day. If not, then nothing will be considered.
Ustaz, is it right for me to believe, so the ruling upon us believers as Muslims, if we were to treat the non-believer wrongly, it would be the same ruling as we are treating other creation of Allah wrongly?
Yeah. Okay. The thing about the first thing first, when our brother said, is about what the payment. I said no payment will be given. But about unjust that you did to a human, like you did to a dog or a cat, that is actually certainly Allah Ta'ala will take you upon it. Because if a woman can be enter the hell fire because of a cat, she kept in a cage, she didn't feed it. Dakhalat imra'atun an-nar fi hirratin habasatha. A woman entered the hell fire because of a cat that she kept in a cage. La hiya at'amatha, she didn't give any food to that cat. Wala hiya tatrukuha takulu min hashashil ardi, and she didn't open the cage for the cat to eat from whatever on the earth. So she will enter the hell because of the cat. Then you can say that the payment will not be given for you, but the unjust that you did in this world to anybody, Allah Ta'ala will surely make you repay that. Make you pay that for that things. Because if a cat, you do unjust to a cat, you can enter a hellfire. Then if you unjust to a human, even though he's non-believers, then Allah Ta'ala will surely take account for you. The different that the discussion about payment, no payment for you, for the non-believers, no payment for them, but the believers that did that will be accounted by Allah.
So, Ustaz, this is saying at the end, during Judgment Day, to the non-believers, we are not unjust because they do not believe. So essentially, we are unjust against Allah.
Yeah. Okay. Alhamdulillah. So we stop here, inshallah. May Allah Ta'ala accept all our deeds on learning. Then Allah Ta'ala make it beneficial for us, whatever we learn, making us to practice whatever we learn. Wallahu a'lam. Wa sallallahu ala Muhammadin wa sallam, alhamdulillah rabbil alamin. Subhanakallahumma wa bihamdika ashhadu an la ilaha illa anta astaghfiruka wa atubu ilaik. Assalamu alaikum.